last couple of years has been the growth in the number of destination markets in which Australian beef and Australian sheep meat has been sent to. We've seen a significant increase in emerging markets coming forward as buyers of Australian beef, Australian lamb. And with that, however, has come a recognition of the costs of technical market access barriers to our trade. These technical market access barriers are often limiting or inhibiting the Australian industry from fully capturing the opportunities that exist in these emerging marketplaces.
Well, the market access is a lot of what they call technical trade barriers, and it costs the industry $1 billion odd in loss of markets because of these barriers. And a lot of them, because we go into a lot of countries now, and we trade in a lot of countries and it's global, there's some of these barriers there that government and industry need to work on to try and reduce some of the impact that these technical barriers impose on exporters.
MLA has recently invested producer levies in conducting research to be able to both identify and try to quantify what these technical market access barriers are costing the trade. Through that work, we've been able to identify over 136 technical market access barriers that are currently impacting and limiting Australia's capacity to export into overseas marketplaces.
Well, in certain places they've got barriers on, like you've got tariffs, you've got restrictions on offal, those sort of things that really, and even you can look at the EU, there's certain barriers there that, there's not a lot of it science-based, but it's more of a trade barrier issue.
So for example, one of the areas that is home to many of these technical market access barriers is actually the Middle East and North Africa. One of the most common restrictions on us there are artificial time constraints on the shelf life of Australian product in that marketplace. If you take, for example, one of the fast-growing markets of the United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, which has an artificial barrier of 40 days shelf life for Australian product, which is well less than half what our science shows Australian product can have in terms of a suitable shelf life for retail presence.
Well, I think we just need to be aware of these problems, trying to identify the priorities and ones that we can work on with MLA and industry and government departments, and try and get some sort of a conduit there that we can work together between the countries to try and get some outcome that's beneficial to all.
Australia's role is to try to continually put in front of these overseas governments the science and the facts which support the removal of these technical market access barriers on Australian products. MLA's role is to ensure that we're investing in the science and in the technologies to be able to arm up our Australian government negotiators to enable them to have a solid and sound case to seek the removal of these barriers.